Hi drummers, hope you're well. Right, just a quick one for you here about a nice accented triplety pattern and a lovely drill for building it up. This is the one that appears in the bridge section of No One Knows by Queens of the Stone Age, Trinity Rock and Pop Grade 5. We're talking about the beginning of the bridge, the bit that goes like this. Now in those little 4 bars of music, there's just so much sort of interesting and cool drumming and musical stuff, I think. So I wanted to take a second to talk about it. Shout out to Simon, Stephen, Rafe and Jack, all channel members who are working on this piece and on this bit in particular. And this little bit, like I say, it's just got so much in it. Now, something I talk about a lot on this channel and something that I'm just so keen on doing with the drummers, the students that I work with, and just so keen on using in my own drumming because I just think it's at the heart of everything, is the idea, and I've said it 100 times on here, of playing a single stroke roll and playing accents within it. When we play 16ths, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, that's a really rich vein, I think, of playing amazing stuff like solos, even if all you're doing is playing a single stroke roll but accenting some of the notes. I'm going to talk a lot about the bow diddly pattern on this channel. Or a soca calypso kind of groove. Or a suku. Or a single stroke samba. Or a million and one other examples. It's just one of those ideas that's right at the heart of it. What's really interesting about this little moment in this tune is it's a triplet feel, right? So we're playing still single stroke roll, but triplets for 2 bars. So rhythm wise here we're going 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So it's 2 bars. Now, it's also orchestrated around the kit a bit. I think what a lot of drummers do, in my experience anyway, is they learn the going around the kit bit, and they end up playing something that sounds a bit like this. And that's all cool. Like obviously that's a lot of the way there. But they sometimes, or quite often in fact, don't really get the full value and the full marks in their grade 5 out of the accent pattern that's in there. So one of the things we pretty much always do is play the accent pattern first, just on the snare drum, and really make sure we've got that lovely, beautiful musical shape from those accents. And then when we take it to the kit, it just has that kind of slightly more elevated feeling to my ears and just really brings it to life, man. Those accents are just what it's all about. Now, one of the drills we do in sessions that I teach is with 16th notes and with triplets, just practice in the first place, just placing an accent on each beat. So rather than sort of jumping straight in, what we do is actually just spend time building some of the physical skills, which in my experience sort of pays drummers back over and over and over again when they're then making the music. So a really simple example, I'll go through this quick, is we take just triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So these are 8th note triplets, 3 hits on each beat, and this 4 beats in the bar here. And we're playing a single stroke roll. So if you're right-handed, that would go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left on 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And what we do is we practice placing the accent, first of all, on the first beat, and we tend to think of it as 2 beats at a time. So like this: 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So that's a good place to start. And the game is, for me, just contrasting as much as you can the loud note and the not accented note. In this particular piece, the not accented notes aren't ghosted notes, they're just sort of regular volume. But man, just go for a big contrast, because especially as you pick up speed, inevitably the quiet notes get a bit louder anyway. So I would say, my opinion, my advice, just go for maximum contrast when you're practicing slow between the loud note and the quiet note. So we accented on the beat, the first one. We'll now accent on the second one, which is the trip. So again, we'll do it over 2 beats. So it'll go 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, Then you do it on the let of beat 1 and beat 3. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So you see we're working our way through, aren't we? Just practicing, isolating each little note and accenting that. I'll do this as a separate play-along video soon, actually. Then we do beat 2. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Then you guessed it, the trip of beat 2 and beat 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And lastly, on the let of beat 2 and beat 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. I'll rattle through that exercise real quick. On the 1 and the 3, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. On the trip of 1 and the 3, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet. Okay, on the let of the 1 and 3, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Okay, on the 2 and 4, 1 triplet, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. On the trip of 2 and 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And then on the let of the 2 and the 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. I'll do that as a separate play-along video soon, but that's the basic drill, or a great place to start. That's what we do the lessons often as a warm-up. And just, again, we're just developing that ability to keep the flow going, lovely single stroke, 8th note triplets, and isolate each note and to be able to accent it. Often with those sort of drills, people say, well, I don't do this, I'll just get on with playing music. Again, all I can say is my experience is the dudes that do that, they sound better when they're playing music. Why? Because they've built that physical skill into their system, man. Beautiful, that's the thing. One of the things I've sort of come to terms with and seen demonstrated over the years, really, is that drummers who work on skills and concepts as well as playing songs and don't just play songs, man, there's a night and day difference. Those drummers who work on skills and concepts, like, they just always sound better when they're playing songs, man, in my experience, because they build that physical skill. They craft the physical skill that then makes the song sound good. Anyway, so we're going to now to the accent pattern that features in this particular part of the song. This is the first 2 bars of the bridge, bars 35 and 36. The accent pattern is... So we're playing 1 triplet, 2 triplet. And that's it, man. It's only, like, again, 2 beats long, the accent pattern here. 1 triplet, 2 triplet. Now, if you're a right-hander and you're playing right stick first, single stroke roll, the accents will go on right, left, right, left, right, left. 1 triplet, 2 triplet. Bar 35, you play that twice. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So another exercise we do at this point, which usually works wonders, is we roll that particular bar, which is bar 35, from the Trinity Rock and Pop book, round and round. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now go as slow as you need to, man, when you're first working this out. Loud, soft, loud, soft, soft, loud, loud, soft, loud, soft, soft, loud, loud, soft, loud, soft, soft, loud, loud, soft, loud, soft, soft, loud. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, And again, can you see we're building there as we build it up bit by bit and rehearse it, drill it. We're building into our hands that ability to keep the lovely accented flow going and to sound authentic and to get away from, which is what a lot of drummers, including me, would sound like sort of when they first try something like this. So again, we're drilling in and crafting, chiseling out of stone the beautiful skills to play in that musical and dynamic way on a roll like this. In the second bar, 36, that same figure happens on beat 1 and beat 2, and then it just goes to regular even volume notes, no accents, for beats 3 and beats 4. So here's the whole 2-bar phrase now on the snare drum. We're doing bars 35 and 36. It goes 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. But, right? That's what we do, man. We roll it on the snare drum. Again, the moving around the kit thing is cool, but it can be a real distraction because really, again, what we're drilling in here is those two different stick heights, man, that give this thing its musical shape and take it from that kind of pass mark to that beautiful distinction mark of again, there's accents giving it the lovely sort of musical shape that it does. Okay, so now we'll drill the snare drum, so that 2 bars, but just on the snare drum, and we'll play the groove at the end, which goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Full speed is 170s. I think we'll go a bit slower here. Let's go 140. Obviously, this might be easy for you, or it might be that you haven't got to this point yet. But just to demo it, we'll do 140. Here it comes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now do 2 bars groove, 2 bars fill, 2, 3, 4. And again. Just for fun, we'll run it at full speed. 170. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was a full speed 170. Cool. And now we'll move it around the kit in the manner that it does. So that for me really is the way around to do it for me. You do the accent pattern first, get that shape happening. And then you're ready, man. You can then apply that around the kit. Right stick goes to the mid-tom for the 2 accents. The left stick accent on the let of beat 2 is on the snare. And then on the unaccented or even notes in the second half of the second bar, 36, it goes 2 on the snare, 2 on the high tom, 2 on the floor tom. So Here we go. So that's the deal, man. For me, get it flowing, single stroke roll, accents in place first, get comfortable with that, get that to speed, and then put it around the kit. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I'll play it at full speed just for fun. And this is what we do, man. In the sessions, this is what I'd strongly recommend anybody who feels like that. People always say the same thing. People come to me with this book and they say, I'm struggling with this bit. Well, you got to work on it, man. You got to drill it. There's no expectation with this bit that it will flow straight away if you haven't worked with sort of accents in single stroke rolls a lot. Yeah, you got to drill it, man. You got to practice it. There's no, I mean, this is like the distinction moment. I was thinking these great pieces, there's like a distinction moment, as in one or two moments in the song, I think here and the guitar solo on the next page, where it's just noticeably more tricky, man, noticeably more difficult, or I should say noticeably more time is required, like drilling it and practicing it to get it up to like performance standard. And that's where you earn that distinction, man. If you're going to get your top mark, this is where you earn it, by drilling these things. The payback that you get as well, because it's for me way more important than getting a piece of paper with the word distinction on it. The payback that you get is developing that amazing physical skill of being able to select accents in a roll and play musical phrases and build your own patterns in the future using the set of skills that you've been armed with as a result of sort of learning these grades. That's a big thing for me. So, let's do it, man. Just for fun here, we'll drill 2 bars of the fill, 2 bars of the groove. I'll go at full speed. Obviously, you've got to go at whatever speed you're currently at and build it from there, always with the onus on being in control and maximizing the difference between the loud note and the quiet note. But just for demo, I'll play it here. 1, 2, here we go. One, two, three, four. So that's it, man. So it's only 4 bars of music, isn't it? But there's just so much in there. I think so much great stuff, and so much stuff that if you truly spend the time with it, rather than just sort of blasting through, like some students do and sort of not really getting the value out of learning these, but if you really take the time to think of that moment, what it's doing there, what value you can get out of that in terms of your own drumming moving forward, and that beautiful musical idea of getting fluent playing accents in a single stroke roll, in this case in a triplet feel, then you could really say that you got the value out of this. And again, as you move forward up the grades and progress with your drumming, with whatever you're doing, it just becomes something you can use all over the place. And man, for me, like I said at the start, really, it's in the very that idea, single stroke rolls with accents at speed, is in the very top level of things that I use most often in creative playing, in playing a solo, in creating my own drum beats and fills. It's just solid gold, man. Really worth taking the time over that. If you're working on that piece, hopefully that's useful. If you're not, hopefully it gives you some idea of what you get out of these pieces. And perhaps if you haven't looked at that particular skill, accents in single stroke rolls, I can only repeat how much I think that's a really big part of playing the drums, and drummers that sound good use that all over the place as far as I'm concerned. So thanks for watching as always. Shout out to all those lovely channel members. I'm going to try to remember Simon, Stephen, Rafe, Jack. I mean, there are others as well, but they're the people I've worked on with it recently, and I said to all of them that I'd make a video sort of covering this little bit. I know people will say, the guitar solo over the page is the really tricky bit. Yeah, I'll do a separate video about that as well. I have also, if you're studying this piece at grade 5, done a video demo of it, and also a full talk through. I'll link to those in the description below. Thanks for watching as always. Really appreciate it. Shout out to all the channel members who've supported this channel on my Buy Me a Coffee support page, and all the people who buy me a coffee support. Thanks so much. If you found these videos useful or helpful, please consider supporting. Man, I appreciate that more than you could possibly say. But if you're not in a position to do that, that's cool. Thanks so much for watching anyway. I really, really appreciate it. And see you soon. Have a great weekend. Cheers.